Officer Jake Carter had always trusted his partner, Shadow, more than anyone else. Shadow, a powerful and intelligent K9 German Shepherd, had been by his side for 5 years, saving his life more times than he could count. Together, they had taken down drug dealers, stopped armed robberies, and tracked down missing persons. But tonight, Shadow lay bleeding on the cold asphalt, whimpering in pain. It had started as a routine patrol. Jake and Shadow had been tracking a group of notorious outlaw bikers known as the Black Fangs. They had been linked to multiple violent crimes, but the law had never been able to pin them down. Tonight, Jake had finally gotten a break, a confirmed sighting of the gang holed up in an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of town. Jake had called for backup, but it was 20 minutes out. Not wanting to lose his chance, he had moved in carefully with Shadow at his side. The moment they got close, the bikers had ambushed them. Shadow had leaped into action, bringing one of the gang members down, his powerful jaws clamping down on the thug's arm. But the others had attacked with chains and crowbars. Before Jake could react, Shadow had been struck down. The dog yelped in pain as a heavy steel pipe crashed into his side. Another biker slashed at him with a knife, leaving a deep gash along his flank. Jake fought hard, disarming one of the bikers and slamming another into the ground, but the gang overwhelmed him. They beat him down, laughing as they left both man and dog bloodied on the pavement. "Stay out of our way, cop," their leader growled before revving his engine and riding off with his crew. Jake lay there for a moment, barely able to move. Then he heard Shadow whimper, struggling to get up despite his injuries. Anger flared in Jake's chest like a wildfire. These bastards had crossed a line. They hadn't just attacked an officer, they had hurt his partner, his family. With sheer willpower, Jake pushed himself up and called for emergency assistance. Within minutes, sirens wailed in the distance. Shadow was rushed to the vet while Jake refused medical attention. He had something else to do. With rage in his heart and vengeance in his mind, Jake gathered what he needed. He put on his tactical vest, loaded his sidearm, and grabbed his shotgun. Then he climbed onto an unmarked police bike and tore off into the night. He knew where the Black Fangs would be, their clubhouse deep in the industrial district. When he arrived, the bikers were celebrating, drinking and laughing. Jake didn't wait. He kicked down the door, shotgun at the ready. The first man who reached for a weapon got a stock to the face. Another lunged at him with a knife, but Jake sidestepped and slammed him into a table. The leader tried to escape, but Jake shot out his tires before dragging him to the ground. Breathing heavily, Jake stood over the beaten gang, his fury barely contained. "You made a mistake," he growled, his grip tightening on his weapon. "Why?" The sound of sirens filled the air again. This time, it was his backup finally arriving. He had done enough. He took a step back as his fellow officers stormed in, arresting the gang. Justice would be served, but Jake didn't care about that at the moment. Hours later, Jake sat beside Shadow's hospital bed, stroking the dog's fur gently. The vet had assured him Shadow would recover, but it would take time. Jake leaned in close, whispering, "They won't ever hurt you again, buddy. I promise." Shadow let out a soft, tired whine, his tail wagging weakly. They had survived. And no one would ever dare come after them again.